Hey. Ooh. Let's come back a little. Oh. Just made it back to the hotel. Yes, sir. Feeling pretty good. Dang, man. I'm thirsty and the fridge is over there. And I don't know that I feel like getting up to get it. Got icy cold Powerade in there. Or Gatorade too, but it's in there. And I'm over here. Give it about 10 minutes. How's it going, people? It's me again. So today was day number 6. Okay, so today's day number 6. Day 7 is essentially the very last day, um, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow's day number 7, and then Friday is our last day, and we won't be staying there the whole day. But I forget what they call it, but basically testing. But I wouldn't really call it a test. Did they call it what was the term? Not skills retention or skills evaluation. I forget what it's called. But anyway, Friday's the last day. We won't be there all day. It'll just be for a couple of hours, and then we're free to go. But since I got to drive from here, from Houston up to West Memphis, Arkansas, I'll be leaving, God willing, Saturday morning. So I got to go get a rental car. Anyway, so today, what happened today? Well, today was basically outside. Spent all day outside. And this weather out here has been crazy. It's been like cold, and then it get hot. You know, so cold in the morning and hot in the afternoon. Anyway, so we spent all day outside today, and for me, I was on the lot for the first part before lunch, and then for the second part after lunch, I was over the road with some students. So the first part, just being in a lot, basically all we did was just maneuvering around different things, going in between trailers, and then backing up. I don't think we necessarily did coupling and uncoupling, but the main focus was on maneuvering, slow maneuvers, and backing up. And if I understand it right, today was their first time actually backing up, So, you always have those where it's like, okay, they're doing pretty decent in maneuvering, checking the mirrors, that and the other. And then you have those that, it's like, okay, what are you doing, man? I mean, what's going on? Now, obviously, you don't say that, especially in front of somebody else, but that's what you're thinking. So, but here's one thing that I really learned about this morning, and that was because we were making a right-hand turn in between two trailers, right? So we're going straight, and there's two trailers over here. There's like a space in between that we can fit in, and then lock back behind that. So basically, you go in between the two trailers, and then come out, and then go do whatever. So now, obviously, you take a wide turn just to get in between the two trailers, and when you do that, you're gonna hug the trailer on the left hand side, because you want to make sure that your tandems in the back are going to be able to clear the trailer on the right hand side. So you do that so that your tandems can basically follow you in a sense. So there was this one particular student that we said, hey, come in, hug that trailer on your left, and this is why. And it was one thing that these trainers have been saying. They've been saying that these students, as brand new, they will do exactly what you tell them to do. So when we said hug that trailer over to the left, dude is literally inches away from that trailer. He's not hitting anything, but he's just that close. Like his mirror is about to kiss, whereas he's got 4 or 5 feet over here, And he did it several times, and then eventually, I don't think that he said it to basically explain how he thinks, But that was basically what he did. He mentioned, well, when you said hug the trailers, that's what I was trying to do. And so me being in the jump seat, yeah, we actually did two turns with him. So he did one with the main trainer, and then the main trainer, he asked, okay, so do you want to go ahead and try with one of the students? And so I said, you know what, I'll do it. I'll try. And then he said, well, with who? Just pick one. And I didn't want to pick nobody, but this guy seemed like he wanted to go again. So I said, hey, you want to go again? Let's go. So the second time, this is basically what I'm talking about. So he went in and he did exactly like he did before. He hugged that trailer. And then after we were going through it, and then he mentioned, hey, when you say hug that trailer, that's what I'm trying to do. And so that's when I said, oh, I understand. You're just like me. You're very anal and specific about stuff. So when someone says something, I'm going to do that to the T. I mean, I'm going to dot every I and cross every T. Because that's what it translates to me, So he's like me, he's going to do exactly what I tell him to do, which is what the trainers have been saying. They will do exactly what you tell them to do. So knowing that, and I was like, okay, I understand now. So knowing that, we were going around a lot again, whatever, and I said, okay, so I want you to hug that side, but give yourself between 3 to 4 feet at the very least from that side. And as I say that, that's what he's doing now. He's actually giving himself room on that side. So yeah, that's what I'm learning is that not only will they do exactly what you tell them to do, but it's not just that too. But sometimes the people that you're training, it's just how their mind works, And so we got in, and we were supposed to be backing in. So it's his first time ever backing up at all, period. And I'm explaining things to him, whatever. And he did ask me, is it okay if I kind of try, but I still listen to you and you guide me? I said, yeah, sure. That's exactly what we're doing, which is like what we're doing anyway, And so I gave him a few pointers. I'm like, don't oversteer, just this right here. And at first, they say, yeah, okay, but it's not registering, So he still kind of oversteered just a little bit. So I said, look, let's stop, let's get out and look, let's see what's going on. And I explained, this is a gravel lot. You see the tire tracks on the ground where, we were here before, and you see, you have the cones on the side, but you still have the tire tracks on the ground. Use that to help you guide, to say, hey, I'm putting my tires here, So it's just a matter of just being patient with a new student. And if you're able to, find out how their mind works so that you can figure out how they best learn, So that worked out, and we eventually got it back there. I would say within 15 minutes, obviously brand new student, his very first time backing up anything at all. So, but yeah, got it back in there perfectly, And then we went to lunch, and then after lunch came back, and I got put out into the manual truck with 2 students, basically seeing what their driving skills were over the road. So first guy knocked it out the park. Dude is pretty good. He's a brand new student too, as I understand it. I don't think that he's had any experience with like big trucks or anything like that, whatever. But he was pretty good. Did his thing, rocked it. So instead of me having to spend a lot of time coaching on stuff, there was a few things that I mentioned, yes, but I spent more time just explaining, things to consider, when you're going over the overpass and the on-ramp is over here. Just kind of see who's over there, what kind of vehicle, what color of that vehicle, so that when you see that color pass by you, you know that you're free on that end. Or if that color hasn't passed you, then it's still back there, and still kind of watch out for them. Just saying, Houston, it's one of the major cities, and in Houston especially, folks drive differently than they might in like Dublin, Georgia. That's one thing I've learned. Every city has its own little personality when it comes to to driving styles. So that was that. There was I mean, dude did pretty good. I didn't. I don't think I had to correct him about anything. I mean, and maintaining his lane, he did real good with that. You know, I mean, he did pretty good. Both of my guys did. You know, so we went over to the truck stop, stopped there, was there like 15 minutes or whatever, and left out to go back home. Well, not home, but back here to the OC. The other guy jumped in the front seat, and you know, he was fairly decent too. There was a few issues there, but you know, for the most part, same thing. He rocked it. You know, he knocked it out the park, did his thing. There was an opportunity. I wouldn't call it a problem. There was an opportunity there, and which basically every driver has gone through, and that's not knowing where that point of no return is when you're driving. So what I mean is you're driving, you come up to the stoplight, you know, and you're looking at that light, and you don't know if it's going to turn yellow and then red or whatever, and then it turns yellow, and then your first thought is to hit that brake, you know, and that was basically what he did. You know, he reached that and he started hitting the brake, and I'm saying go go go, you know, go straight through, but he went ahead and stopped, and that's fine, you know. And so what he explained is that when he was going through trucking school in Louisiana, he said that when he did that before, they failed him. And so now he's operating off of what happened in the past. And so I said, well, you know what, dude? I'm going to say this the wrong way, and I don't mean any harm. And I'm saying, I'm sorry right now. I'm just saying right now, I'm sorry. But we're not worried about them no more, you know? Here's why you don't stop like that. And the reason why you don't stop like that is because, you know, you've got this liquid load behind you. So you might be able to stop, but just basically more of a hard brake. And so what happens is that when you stop like that, you might be able to stop before the intersection, but that load's going to hit you, and it might push you forward, especially if you're not really on your brakes like you should be, you know. It might push you into traffic, and when you get into traffic, cross traffic is going to hit you, you know. So that's an accident right there. You know, if you have a hard brake for Schneider, if you have a hard brake, that's considered a critical event, and which means that now you got to call your DBL and explain why you had a critical event. Why did you stop so fast, so soon? And your DBL now has paperwork that they had to fill out to say, you know, why you did what you did. You know, just avoid all that. Just go straight through. You know, and I'll be honest with you. There's been times when, you know, I've had to go straight through. There's been times where I had to pull my horn because I could not stop. And everybody else across traffic, they start blowing their horns because it pissed at me for going through. But that is, in some cases, that's the safer option, especially if it's raining. You know, it's been raining, whatever, roads are wet. Last thing that I want to do is stop on a dime in wet weather, because now I risk the possibility of sliding through and losing control of my vehicle, and I don't want to do that. So there are times when, yes, you have to run a red light, and if you get pulled over, you know, just explain, and some cops just don't want to listen, you know, and when you get to court, just say that, hey, it was the safer option, because last thing I want to do is stop on a dime, and then, you know, my trailer hydroplanes or whatever, it flips over, whatever, you know. But yeah, so both of my guys did pretty good, and backed up the second guy, and he did pretty good, but yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, these new students, they will do exactly what you tell them to do, and that's good and that's bad. You know, the first guy, when I was backing him up, he would do what I told him to do, and then look right back at me, waiting for the next thing to do, waiting on me to tell him what next to do. So, but again, it's their first time backing up anything at all. But so he's waiting on me, you know. So I look at that and I'm thinking, okay, so during the weeks that I have a new student, how do I translate what he was doing, which is do what I said, look at me waiting on the next direction, you know? How do I translate that into allowing them to be more confident in what they're doing, so that they don't always have to wait on me to tell them what to do, you know? So today was pretty fun, you know. I was kind of apprehensive about getting in that jump seat because I wasn't sure how I would act and what I would say and whatnot. But um, based off of the feedback from the actual trainer, he was like, you know what, I think you're gonna be a pretty good TE. You know, because when things happened, you were quick to say what it was. If you had to correct anything, you were right there and you made it very plain. You know, I wasn't rude. I wasn't, demeaning, anything like that at all, which I don't ever want to be at all. But I just explained what they did and why it could be a problem and what to look for in the future, things to consider basically, So, but yeah, both of my guys on a road trip, I didn't really have to say anything at all. So I spent more time just saying, hey, to make it easier on yourself, always contact your DBL and let them know what's going on with you, what's going on with your truck if there's an issue. Keep them in the loop because it makes their job easier. If you make their job easier, they're gonna look at you and say, you know what, he's one of my best drivers. I love him. I love him. I love him. And they're gonna always make sure that you get the miles. Look, he's a good driver. He's this. He's that. I want to make sure that he gets miles. He's been sitting here for a couple of days. I want to make sure that he gets good miles. Can we take care of him? Your DBL will look after you. They will take care of you if you take care of them. And I'm not saying that it's if you do this, I'm gonna do this for you. It's just kind of what happens. If you're a good, decent employee and you're doing whatever you can to help them, they will take care of you. And I don't think it's anything that they consciously do. It's just, I mean, quite frankly, I would do it. I like this person. She's always coming in on time. She's always doing this, and she's always, I'm gonna take care of them. Yeah, definitely, because I can depend on them. They're more responsible. So I even mentioned, hey, places to park. You got truck stops. Yeah, you've got rest areas, but don't sleep on the mom and pop stores, because sometimes those be the spots where you run out of time and you go to those the small truck stops. You might have a few potholes you have to deal with, but they can come in handy from time to time. And then I mentioned casinos. Every once in a while, I'll park at a casino if I'm running out of time and I can park there. Now, if I have a hazmat load, I'm probably not inclined to go park there, but I'll probably try and find something else. But casinos, that's an option to park at. So yeah, but I mean, I spent more time just giving random tips instead of just because they didn't really do anything on the drive that I had to worry about. Anyway, so I've been trying to keep my videos underneath 10 minutes, and my last one was like 20 something minutes, and this one's about 18. So I think I've said everything I had to say. So tomorrow is more, I guess it's more driving and more backing. I think more emphasis on backing though. So we'll see how that happens. But then after that, Friday is basic graduation day. I get the TE cap, and we go from there. So anyway, until tomorrow, you guys be good and be safe in all that you do. Bye.